Hello and welcome back to Granted Gardens. My name is Melissa. It is Father's Day weekend. We just all sat down and had breakfast with my parents, and I am coming outside because the sun is deciding to come out for a few moments at least. I wanted to take advantage of this and show you guys just some of the stuff that has changed. It has been raining a lot here recently, like really big thunderstorms, so stuff is kind of like just taking off. So I just wanted to walk you through, show you some of the stuff that's changed since our last week's garden tour. As far as the pots go, the tomatoes have just shot up and they're really filling out, and we're gonna have to reorganize all of this because we are just running out of space on the deck for stuff to actually grow. Our corn took a bit of a beating. It was all kind of laying sideways this morning with the thunderstorm we had last night. But check out the size of these leaves on our zook. So beautiful. And that zucchini's still going. He might be almost time to pick him. I did notice I'm getting a little flower on the pole beans, or the bush beans down here. The echinacea is getting ready to bloom. I remembered the name of it this time. I think that zucchini plants are probably one of my favorite plants to grow. I just think that they're so beautiful. I mean, they're huge leaves, and their flowers, if you catch their flowers on time, the flowers are beautiful. But oh look, so we got a zook here. Can you see that? I might not be focusing, and one over here. But the flowers, the thing with the flowers is the flowers get huge. I mean, they'll get the size of your hand, and they look like a starfish, and they're gorgeous, but they're only open for a few hours. So if you miss them, you miss the boat altogether. They will not stay open all day. My lettuce is finally starting to get to a decent size. I was pretty excited about that. I did a plant swap the other day and I got some more lettuce seeds, which I'm going to start in another pot here soon. Now, I do a lot of plant swaps, and you know what? Not even mad about it. But the thing with this year, and why our deck, hey Shanty, looks so different, is because we got these pots that are up here. I actually found them on the side of the road. They were not a swap, they were just out for free on the side of the road, and I grabbed them, and that's why like everything's so much bigger, because we actually do have a lot more plants up there than we did last year, the last 2 years, and the plants are going to grow a lot bigger because they got more space, but we'll see. Here's a quick shot of the herb bed. I've got to do something with this yarrow, but I do love the purple. The purple yarrow is so pretty. I guess it's more of maybe a pinkish purple. We're probably going to be tearing these guys out here soon. See if we can maybe collect seeds. But I don't think that as far as the plant itself goes, we're not going to get much production out of these green onions after they've gone to seed. So we're going to probably pull them out soon and get in here and just trim back a few things. I did get to pick a few strawberries this morning for breakfast, which was fun. My sunflower's coming along just fine. Now the thing with all this weather that we've been having is you have to stay very much on top of your plants, making sure that they've got enough support to them and that you keep going back and tying them up, because this weather will just knock them to pieces. So I just gave you a shot of my zucchinis up on the deck here, so I want to give you a shot of the zucchinis in the bed so you can see the difference. The ones in the pots are doing, as far as production goes, currently at this moment, are producing a lot quicker than the ones in the beds, which is funny because I would not have thought that would be the case. Hello, little zinnia. You look beautiful today. Okay, so here's my zoox. This is my big one in the in-ground garden beds, but it's all male flowers. I got like the starts of a female flower down here, but everything else has been males. So we don't have any fruit on here yet. Same with this one, and same with that one back there. So we'll see. These tomatoes seem to have held up pretty well in the storm, so I didn't mess with them too much. My nasturtium is blooming. So pretty. So for anybody that doesn't know what nasturtiums are, they quickly became one of my favorite garden snacks last year when I grew them for my first time. I grew my first nasturtium out in the herb garden, and I would go and I would sit in the center of the herb garden and sit there and pick my herbs, and then like every once in a while just pick off a leaf from my nasturtium plant and chew on it. They're really good, actually. They are, they got a upfront like very peppery taste, and then once you have them for a second, it's kind of spicy, but it's really good. I love snacking on them. I know a lot of people that'll mix them, like some of them, into their salads and stuff, and then the flowers are also edible, so if you want to make them, mix them into a really pretty fancy salad, you can do that as well. I am pretty sure that that is a cucamelon. Pretty sure that all of those are cucamelons as well. Might be digging them up and transplanting them here soon. I've been really disappointed with my peas and beans this year. They just are not taking off like the ones did them in previous years for me. And these guys here are Kentucky pole beans, Kentucky Wanderer, and this is one that I've started from seed in the house, and I'm just gonna make an executive decision here right now. Seriously, like, the hardest thing for me to do is to recognize the fact that something isn't doing well and to pull out something that is still alive. But the more that I garden, the more I've realized that it really is all about timing. And if you want a bountiful harvest, you need to make sure that you do certain things to ensure that that actually happens. That little bean was sick and did not do well when we transplanted it, and it has not grown at all since we transplanted it. So I'm gonna just pull it, and I'm going to direct seed a new seed in that space, and hopefully that plant will grow a lot quicker for us and produce quicker than trying to nurse that other one back to health. So when I came out here the other day after one of the big storms, I saw that one of my tomato plants, my well-established tomato plant, had split, and one of the larger branches had completely broken off, and, well, not completely, it was hanging on by like a thread. So I made, again, another executive decision and chopped off that branch. Tyler insisted that we try to plant it and see if we can get it to come back, see if we can get it to root. It doesn't look like that panned out, so I'm gonna pull this one out of the garden too. So this is the mother plant, and the stem actually broke off like right here. I don't know if you can really see it from this angle, but it ripped off and it was laying on the ground. So we tried to put it in over here, stake it up, see if we could bring it back, but I don't think he's making it back. why is this important? Like, why wouldn't I just leave it here and let it go until it completely dies off? Same thing with the bean plant. Number one, because even a sick plant or a halfway dying plant is soaking up nutrients that my other healthy plants would benefit from. In addition to that, once stuff starts dying off, it really welcomes in like new illnesses and diseases that otherwise we would just rather them not be here with our healthy plants. And then last but not least, it just takes up space, which once you've seen how much these have grown, they're going to need all the space that they can get. So I'm not going to waste space on sick or dying plants. Ground cherries. But you guys, my scarlet runner bean. So gorgeous. So these scarlet runner beans, I think I got them in a plant swap or a seed swap. I got them in a seed swap and started them from seed in the house. I planted all of them. This is the only seed that actually germinated. There's a really weird looking bug right here. I'm trying to see if it'll land. Hold on. Little ghost bug. Look at this. It's like a moth with feathers. Minor distraction. Bugs. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, so I started these in the house, and this is the only one that made it. This was the only seed that germinated. It is doing an amazing job. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. But I don't have any more seeds. So like, I definitely want to grow these more. Next time that I get a chance, which might be this fall, I might give it a whole side of the arch and just plant a bunch of the same plants. But I really need this one to do well. We might not even really get a lot to eat off of this. I'm gonna just make sure that we save enough seeds from this plant so that we can give it a whole side of an arch in the fall. So Tyler has not had a chance to come over here to fix up his tomato plants yet, but this is what it looks like after a hard storm. You can see, like, we just need to tie them back up. We've got some laying over here, so they need some attention. Checking in on my tomatoes here. I believe these are Painted Lady, and I'm super excited because those are the only tomatoes that I have growing right now. Everyone else is just still in flower phase. Here's another win. Nice sunflower open. They're so pretty. Now, I don't really know where that sunflower came from, to be honest with you. It was in the seed starts that we started in the basement. It was labeled sunflower. I planted it here, but this looks nothing like my other sunflowers. So I'm wondering if maybe I got it in like a plant or a seed swap and I just started one because I knew I wanted to start my own. But my actual sunflowers are not that close yet. So that was really exciting to get a sunflower open. These guys are just getting pushed out of the ground. I don't know if that has anything to do with the weather. I'm sure it wholeheartedly has everything to do with how close they are, which we didn't really come through and clean this out after we direct seeded everything. We didn't bother thinning, which we might regret later, but it's an experiment. My lettuce is ready to be picked. I'll probably wait until this evening to come out here and do that because it's starting to get a little hot right now. Cucumbers are climbing. I have a lot of weeds. Might be time to come out here and start pulling weeds. Look at those cabbages. Remarkable. So this is what along the fence line of the garden looks like I'm sure you guys don't see it from this angle very often. I had initially planted that yarrow there because I thought it'd be pretty to have something on the outside. I had no idea that it was gonna take over quite like this though. Might be doing something about that here soon. And then I think that we talked about these flowers. I know Tyler and I were hung up on what these were because I don't necessarily remember planting them. But obviously I did, and the storm came through and it's got them all heavy and fallen over. But black-eyed Susans, found that one out, and they are blooming and they're huge. I mean, that's got to be a 3-foot, 4-foot plant. They're humongous. And we've got more coming down here. Oh, look at this. These were my pink ones from last year. I'll make sure I get a really good look at this when this blooms. So those were daisies that I had planted in pots last year and set out along the fence line here of the garden, just because the color of them were absolutely stunning. I purchased them from a flower shop in Virginia somewhere, I don't even remember, from a plant store in Virginia, and like the second I walked through the door I saw them and the color was just amazing. And like the only way I can explain it really is it's like highlighter pink, and it was the most like astounding color I've ever seen in my entire life, and so I had to buy them. And they're not supposed to come back, but I was like, I can't just throw them out. So where are they? Yeah, on the corner here. So I planted them in the ground in the fall last year and was like, I'm gonna just, you know, give them a chance, right? They came back. Look at the size of these pawpaws. They're getting so big. And the comfrey is even more remarkable, but those pawpaws, I'm so excited. We did lose one of the kiwis. He went from doing well to looking a little sick to dead in what felt like overnight. So I think he's officially gone. I don't think he's coming back, but his sibling is doing just fine. My pot marigolds and zinnias. Just look at the detail to this. I mean, what's so amazing is they're like little flowers within a flower. And then I want to show you this front garden bed because this is another one that has completely taken off with the storms that we've had. You can't even see my hanging baskets because the grass got so tall. But we've got a lot of blooms and a lot coming. Not sure what these are. I think these were part of the bee mix that I planted out here last year. Check out those orange lilies. Isn't that a gorgeous color? I love this garden. It is probably the least planned garden that I have. And I think that's what I love about it. Beautiful chaos. Well, that's about it for the gardens this week. I just wanted to bring you guys through so that you could see some of the big changes that are going on. We are at that point in the year where it's gonna go from this to just overgrown and shot up, and everything's gonna change so much here soon. I'm really excited, but this is also a really special time. So thank you guys so much for spending this time with me and coming along through my walk through the garden. I appreciate you. I look forward to sharing more with you soon.